anyone who needs shelter. Now, Joel Osteen joins us from Houston's Lakewood Church this morning. Hello, Joel Osteen.
Hey, Gil, good to hear from you.
Well, it looks like things are up and running, and not to make light of it, but some people say, Pastor, you've got some splaining to do, because from Sunday there was one message from Facebook, and then it appeared that the doors were not open to anyone. How do you explain the discrepancies?
Well, you know, Gils, our doors have always been open. We receive people even as soon as the water started receding, but we worked with the city constantly. The city set up a shelter about 4 miles from here that can house 10,000 people, showers, dormitories, kitchens, security, all that. They didn't need us as a shelter at that point. They wanted us to be a distribution center, things like that. So we said, fine, you do that, we'll do our part, never dreaming that we would have so many people needing shelters. When they filled up, they said, we need shelters. We started our shelter. But no, this notion that we would turn people away or that we're not here for the city, we've been here for 60 years doing this. Tropical Storm
I don't think anybody thought that you turned anybody away. I think they think that the church was not open and that the words were that it was closed due to severe flooding, and the video evidence seemed to show, listen, there was no flooding at the church. Why wasn't it not open immediately, I think is the bottom line.
None of that is true. There was flooding. If we didn't have our floodgates out back here, it was within 1 foot. This building flooded in 2001, the whole bottom floor. It would have been a safety concern at the start, but that's really not the bigger issue. The issue is we work with the city. They said, let us be the shelter. They said, go to the county, go to the city shelter. So, you know, somebody created a notion that, you know what, we're not open in time, but they're not sitting here seeing that the mayor's saying, don't stay on the streets, don't get on the streets, that this building is a safety issue. We're here to help people. We've been doing this for 60 years, so, you know, that's what we're all about here at Lakewood, helping the city.
It was Tuesday before you got really up and running. Why did it take so long to mobilize?
If you were here, you would understand why. Our volunteers, people that run this building, they can't get to the facility. We couldn't even set up our TV hardly today from some of our crews. So, you know, you just have to be here to see that, number one, the city runs the shelters. What they need us to do, they ask for a distribution center, and you see hundreds and thousands of volunteers came out. They need a command center. Hey, you can do it here at Lakewood. If you need a shelter, we could have been a shelter from day one if they wanted that.
How many people have you taken in so far?
Yeah, I don't know how many. I've lost count, but I know there are hundreds. And yesterday we had, you know, people bringing supplies, and just, you know, we can't hardly take any more supplies here. But we continue to take people as many as they bring.
Pastor, how many can you take in? And I see on your website that you've already begun fundraising to help the victims, but it's not clear what charity that's going to or how it's going to be used. Who are you raising money for?
Yeah. Well, we'd be raising money for the victims here in Houston. I don't know how it all works. We're working with Samaritan's Purse and different ones, but we're going to be here 5 years from now helping these people. We've been here for many years doing that, so it will go to the people that are affected by the flooding. Many of them are our own members.
Are you concerned, though, that it might be harmful to your congregation that there's this perception that your church was not a sanctuary, that even came into question in the first place?
Not one bit. I never pay attention to Twitter. It never came up. We know who we are. If you let social media run your life and your ministry, you'll never do anything. Everybody has critics that's making a difference. We know we did the right thing for safety, working with the city, and, you know, that's why thousands of people are coming out and responding now.
All right, Pastor, you've got a lot going on behind you. What is that behind you? Help us understand. What is that?
The city asked us to be a distribution center, so people are bringing baby foods and baby supplies and medical supplies and things like that. So we're taking in supplies that we can feed the different shelters around town. And so that's what they've asked us to do, and we're doing that along with sheltering the people here.
Thank you, Pastor, for joining us. And the doors of Lakewood Church are